I'm Jarrett, so that's Dwight. You can follow the person on Twitter.
I still have a person on Twitter?
Yeah.
Do I?
I don't know. Do you?
Technically. I don't even know if I use that shit anymore.
Oh, okay. Follow the Facebook and the Instagram.
We use that. Do we use Instagram?
Nope. SoundCloud, YouTube.
Depends on the week and my mood.
Right.
Follow the YouTube and the Facebook. We use those two every
Dwight.
single week. The same.
Merry Christmas.
See, you as well.
Happy holidays to everybody out there.
First of all, it's the worst Christmas hat I've ever seen in my life.
No.
I can't believe they would disrespect the
The
Santa hat.
best.
How do you disrespect the Santa hat by putting an eagle logo on it?
It's the best. I've had this forever.
Same fan bases do whatever. Okay. The irony.
Your Cowboys gave you a Christmas present last week, so Merry Christmas. We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for my late Christmas present from Notre Dame.
Good luck.
We'll see.
Good luck.
It's played at the Cowboy Stadium.
That means you're not gonna win. I hope you realize that.
It's not a good omen.
So is
I
Jerry,
told my dad that.
Is Jerry gonna be there?
I don't know, probably.
I hope so. This is
He's
bad.
gonna make a
karma.
lot of money off this.
As you should. This is bad karma.
As he should. I don't disagree.
That's what happens when y'all talk shit about the Cowboys. Dallas sucks. And Jerry's gonna say bet. He's gonna say Notre Dame sucks.
You don't bribe the ref for Clemson? Mm-hmm. See, I feel like he would feel like Notre Dame's America's team as the college team.
Well, you know he's gonna write the check, so.
That's true.
No.
And he don't like me.
He doesn't like you. He hates you.
Even though I say if you want to hang out with cocaine and young strippers, go for it. But
That's a conversation we left.
yeah, but that's what he does.
He did it one time.
That he got caught on camera.
We know.
Hey, do what you need to do, bro. I don't judge. Good for him. He got oil money, literally.
So isn't he single?
I don't know, but he got oil money, even if he isn't.
That's a great question. Is Jerry Jones single?
Probably not. He a pimp, so you know he's
He's
married.
not married.
Oh, really?
I
don't know.
Have we ever heard of a Mrs. Jones?
He got kids.
That's true.
I'm not saying that means, he got the missus, but yeah, I feel like there's probably a missus.
I feel like in my life I've never heard of a Mrs.
I feel like
Jones.
if there's a missus, she is fierce.
I feel like there isn't.
If there's a Mrs. Jones, she is, or she's just super young.
This is why he does lines off of strippers' titties. But
Look, I ain't mad at him for it.
I'm not either. That's
A lot of people get angry at him for it. Hey, look, you know what?
How he celebrates Christmas is his business.
He recreationally doing that. Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, was out here popping pills like crazy and nodding out. So
Without strippers.
At least he ain't doing that. I agree. This did go
way left.
Welcome to JD Sports. If this is your first watch, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. So,
I wish I had a soundboard now. I would still play that because that would be so fun. One of these days I'm going to buy a soundboard.
that's our clip.
They're expensive as shit, too.
You'll loop that.
They're expensive as shit,
You'll
too.
loop that. That'll be our clip.
Mm-hmm. You know how expensive those are?
Yeah. We'll go in on it.
I was like... Just have a Dan Laboratory show. They don't be watching that shit. We just use their shit.
Yeah, we could be on the Dan Levitard show or in Friends.
Dan Laboratory and Friend show?
Yeah, well, they're doing like a podcast thing where like all of the people that go on a show regularly have their own podcast, and it's just going to be in its own segment of an ESPN thing called Dan Levitard and Friends. But it's not just going to be sports. I don't know. I'm not here to promote their stuff, to be honest with you.
I'm not either, but will we be under contract with ESPN?
No, not everybody that's going to be under it will be. Some people will, some people won't. They're doing stuff with apparently Barstool Sports. I like Barstool Sports. Shout out to them. I think they do a lot of cool stuff.
They're decent.
Interesting stuff, at least. They try to do a different take on sports. But
it's better than the worldwide leader. I'll give you that.
Yeah, agreed.
What I mean, we love ESPN.
Okay, it's weird though because I listen to some ESPN stuff. But I listen to a lot of different radio shows overall. But I don't really watch much. I mean, PTI is literally, and I will always say that PTI will forever be my only real show that I sit and watch. I mean,
yeah, I watch that when I can,
Same.
when I can. But I mean,
If
because
you-
of work,
I listen to the podcast a lot actually.
All right. I catch on my days off, but other than that,
if you catch me up super late at night and there's nothing on TV, I'll throw SportsCenter on just because.
I don't do that anymore.
But
I used to.
Dude, that's such a rare occurrence. I'm not up late like that anymore.
And when I am, I'm doing other shit.
I got a kid, so.
Right. When I am, I'm on YouTube or gaming. I'm not thinking about ESPN or watching an actual game. Then I'll turn it off. It's just ESPN ain't that place no more. It's just not.
I still do. All right.
It's not.
And
not,
you'll laugh at this.
Anymore. It's PTI. It's Mike and Mike's gone, so it's PTI. And I mean, Go Look Wingle's cool, but I don't go flock to that like I did Mike and Mike even. I mean, I'll check it out here and there, but.
I'll listen
it's
to
good.
it.
It's good, but
I listen to other couple different morning shows.
I might watch a lot. The most ESPN I get anymore, other than fucking PTI, I'll get like just because how late I wake up. I'll catch Summer First Take just to see what's going on. But I'll flip between that and like 3 other shows. Like I'll watch like Skip Show. I'll watch.
I never really
not Dan Le Batard.
I like Dan Le Batard.
What's the other one?
But I don't watch them. I listen to them.
I'm looking at them.
Dan Patrick? Oh, I love Dan Patrick.
I'll flip between those three for like a half hour until I get tired of it. And just,
Dan Patrick and Dan Le Batard is when I go back and forth on the radio. They're probably my 2 favorite going, but Dan Patrick's my favorite overall. He always has been. The sports nerd in me to kind of... I read a ton of articles. That's where I get a lot of my sports information. I just read so many articles. And I get a lot of them shout out to Twitter, on Twitter. That's my biggest thing from Twitter, actually, is I read so many sports articles on Twitter. And by random...
Can't do that anymore either.
By random people. Why?
It's a lot of fluff, a lot of lies and nonsense. It's a lot of, especially if you get from ESPN, it's like, oh, subscribe to ESPN Plus and pay a fee to see. And it's like, I'm not doing that.
No.
So I don't even really do that anymore.
It's a lot of like...
I can't tell you the last time I read an ESPN article. I don't. You'll catch me watching SportsCenter before you catch me reading an ESPN article at this point.
There's like Sixers writers of like, at Philly.com, one at the Daily News, and then one at Comcast Sportsnet, like that kind of stuff. Like I read articles all throughout them. Don't get me wrong, I'll stumble across an ESPN article here and there, and there's some good ESPN articles out there. I think they have some really good writers. But more of my articles are the off-brand. Even if it's about the Warriors, it's from the CSNBC Warriors or whatever it is. That kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's where I get most of my information from. But obviously, I'm not bashful. I listen to a ton of sports talk radio as well. I always have. That's what started this for me. And I know PTI was a huge influence for you.
That's what I've been doing since middle school.
Yeah.
Arguing at the lunch table.
Yeah. The show started at an argument at a bar. It's funny.
The argument stands to this day.
Yeah, we still go back and forth about it. Dwight. We don't have to get into that.
Fuck the process.
No, never. Saturday. The first game.
What was it?
Tennessee, Washington. Tennessee fought their way without their quarterback down to the wire. They were up 3 points. Got a pick 6 late or a fumble picked up late. I forget how it happened. Touchdown. They win the game.
I think it was a fumble. I don't know. I did see that, but I don't remember what it was.
I got home because I was shopping right at the end of that. Like 2 minutes before that happened, maybe. Game time. So I watch that. I sit down. I get excited because the 8 o'clock game, 8:30 game, whatever time it was, Baltimore at LA. I was very excited for this game. And I'll be honest, it lived up to the hype I thought of. At least it was competitive the whole way through. Might not have been the greatest football we've ever seen. But it was competitive the entire way through.
Right.
Phillip Rivers throwing an interception on the first pass of the game. Not great.
No, okay. You want to throw a shot, I get it. Go ahead. Even though he's gotten them to this point.
It's back-to-back games he did that, but they got away with it last time. So, turns out, Antonio Gates, fast forward to the end of the game, fumbles, picked up. That's how the game ends. They run it in for a touchdown. I think that they were already up like 5 points at that point. But Hall of Famer Antonio Gates, I said it last week, Phillip Rivers Hall of Famer. I mean, turnovers by those guys in the big games in a big game, not what you're looking for.
No.
Didn't expect Baltimore
to win as seemingly convincingly as they did. Because if you look at the scoreboard,
dominate defensively.
Okay.
Their offense did good. Lamar Jackson looks okay.
He's alright. Yeah,
he didn't look great.
No.
Looked okay.
No.
Moved the ball. Had a couple great throws late or early in the second half, I should say. Did what he had to do in the fourth quarter. Didn't turn the ball over, which is what you're always asking for. I'm not saying they win the Super Bowl.
So how do you view the Baltimore Ravens? Which I was going to ask you this regardless, but now that we're here, because in fairness, I'm going to steal this little topic from one of those, I forget which show it was, but one of those 3 shows I mentioned earlier. We're talking about, actually I know exactly what it was at this point. It was First Take, and I think it was Will Kane, to his credit, kind of half brought this up. So
I feel like you like him.
Not necessarily. He's over the top. On the other side of Stephen A's over the top. So
I don't mind Will Kane. I don't.
They're both over the top.
I don't hate Will Kane, but I'm not like the biggest fan of him.
Yeah, they're over the top with their opinions of pro and con Dallas. But anyway, the bigger point was I think Stephen A is fake. But,
Agreed.
Or just, it's like wrestling. It's like it's turned up like 12 notches. It's like, you might really hate the Cowboys, but come on.
He doesn't really feel this way.
Come on. Anyway,
it's not realistic.
So, bottom line is, where do you feel the Ravens are as a threat in the playoffs? Do you consider them any type of a threat to anybody?
I feel like the AFC is as wide open as possible, so the chances of them actually winning on Sunday against Cleveland are pretty good. And if they win on Sunday, they actually have an opportunity to maybe, I think if New England loses, they get a bye. And they are the 2nd seed, which is crazy. And I think if Kansas City and LA loses, they get the 1st overall seed because they have the tiebreaker with LA. I don't know. I forget how it all plays out. But either way, they have a chance.
Is Baltimore a threat in the playoffs against anybody?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Can they win a game?
I'm not saying this match versus this match.
Can they win a game?
I'm saying, do you think that they can be a threat to anybody?
I think they can win one game. Okay. I don't think they can win.
On the basis of what?
Their defense is good, and Lamar Jackson doesn't turn the ball over. He does what you ask him to do, for the most part. He actually has. He's played extremely well, as long as he keeps running and getting down and out of bounds the way he does. Because if he takes a big hit at some point, obviously he can't. That doesn't sustain. He's done well not taking the big hit, but I do think that they've passed the ball downfield enough on 3rd downs. They were super efficient last week, especially, but they've been efficient overall since he's been their quarterback. And I mean, what are they, 5-1? 5-1 since he's been there, if I'm not mistaken.
So they can mess around and get a W.
He does what he has to do. So yes, of course, I think they get a W. If they can get 2, great. Which if they get 1 game off, then that gives them in the Super Bowl. I don't say that happens. Okay. But it's not super out of realm. But I think they win 1 game, and I don't think they win more.
I agree. And I would also say, and to the original point of why I even brought this up, is because somebody, I forget who it was, Stephen A., but they were then arguing, well, no, the Cowboys aren't a threat. But then when you compare the two, the Ravens and the Cowboys, in a sense, it's what? A defense that can hold their own.
Yeah.
It's a quarterback who isn't great necessarily, but again can hold their own.
As long as he doesn't turn the ball over. At least the
Cowboys have Ezekiel Elliott, which you can rely upon.
No, I agree.
So they're kind of on the same page, and that was the overall point. So that's where I'm at with the situation. I think as far as what either team can do in the playoffs, I think either one could pull an upset. Maybe a second game. Anything more than that, absolutely not.
I agree. I don't think.
That's the
Dallas
case.
In Dallas case, that would mean they would have to win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that can necessarily happen. So the Ravens, as of right now, I'm not saying that happens, but the Ravens, as of right now, have an opportunity of maybe only having to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, and that's a better chance because they could win 2 games possibly, just like Dallas.
Right.
I would.
Well, I'm just
and
curious
I give you
if that's
Dallas,
where you will put it.
I give
they
you
will
Dallas.
Both get maybe one.
I would give you Dallas more offensively because they have Amari Cooper. The flip side of it.
They have Ezekiel Elliott.
No, but you already said that. I meant like add in Amari Cooper as well. The flip side of it, like I said, the biggest thing with me and the Ravens, why I feel like they can advance, and the biggest thing in the playoffs, because you're going to have to do something in the playoffs that you can't normally do. Like we have seen the Cowboys put up 40 points on the Jaguars. We have seen the Cowboys do what they don't normally have to do to win football games. We have not seen Lamar Jackson do that. He has not turned the ball over. Dak has maybe turned the ball over a little more, and you can't do that in the playoffs. On the flip side,
fumble-wise, yeah.
Okay, but it's not necessarily going to happen in the playoffs. He could play 2 mistake-free games back-to-back in the playoffs. Boom, you're in the NFC Championship.
Right.
And like I said, you're going to need a game where, okay, the other team's going to score 30 points on the Cowboys defense. There might be one of those 3 games, right, where you get to the NFC Championship. You're going to have to expect that one of those 3 games you're going to have to play the Saints or the Rams. And you might play Seattle probably in the beginning, right? So one of those 3 teams most likely is going to put up 30 to 40 points on you.
That's the thing. That's the only difference The only difference I would give the Cowboys and the Ravens in that situation. I don't think anybody's going to put up 30 points against that Cowboys defense. So I don't think that would even be a situation or something to worry about as far as can Dak and that offense keep up. I don't think that defense will allow 30. No, I don't think it would happen at this point.
Okay. I mean, maybe.
That and it has nothing to do with that secondary, but like you always say, the front seven, that they keep people in check. Yeah. And that defense, just that front seven alone, keeps everything in check. I'd have to look it up, but has been too often that a team has put up 30 on that Cowboys team. So I don't know. What would happen if a team would do that? I don't know. I don't think we could keep up with that, and Dak has proven that he really can't. So, but to the point back to the Ravens, I think the Cowboys would have a better shot at still pulling off that second win.
I agree with that.
In comparison to the Ravens.
Flip side of that,
but I think they're right there as far as like.
I think everybody can broadly draw this. A rookie quarterback versus a quarterback who has at least played a playoff game.
Right.
Didn't win the playoff game, but was in a playoff game.
He's
right?
been there.
He's been in a playoff game. Yes. Yeah, they won the division his first year.
Yeah. Right.
So, and they lost to Green Bay, didn't they?
I don't remember. I don't memorize this shit like you.
I'm
not a virgin. Remember that? I'm not a virgin with a kid.
I got a kid.
Well, you're the only virgin in American history with a kid.
Nope.
We talked about this scientific discovery.
So do I.
Welcome, JD Sports.
The Ravens.
Oh shit, we're still talking about the Ravens. Okay, yeah.
Do you think this is sustainable for years at a time with Lamar Jackson?
I don't buy into 1 year wonders, so no.
So you think this is just a 1 year wonder?
We won't find out. Okay. I don't do this. Are they going to be great or are they not going to be great? I'm on the show me more than once. You know this. We'll see. I don't root against them. Like I said, I guess every rookie or every second year or whatever it is.
This is first. He's a rookie.
Even more so. Okay, we'll see.
Speaking of Dallas, did you watch the game?
I was going to say, wait, time out. We don't know if he's going to be starting next year for the Ravens, so let's pump the brakes.
Probably. We'll see. Joe Flacco is healthy right now, and he's not starting.
Right now. All right, we're going to see what... Right, that's a whole other situation, so let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see.
So, Dwight...
Yeah.
Did you watch the Dallas game on Sunday? It was on TV around here.
Yep, I watched the whole thing.
How'd it look? I didn't watch any of it.
We looked like a Dallas team that should have did that against the Colts. Won. They look like a good Cowboys team.
Okay.
The final score is very misleading.
Okay.
One because one of those touchdowns was in garbage time. Whatever. Cool. Whatever. But there's another one. Oh my God. Did you happen to see any? I know you probably saw my tweets about it because I was losing my fucking mind.
Saw the highlights.
Did you see any of the... First of all, did you see any of the ridiculous calls against the Dallas Cowboys?
No, but I read about them. But what happened? Explain to the audience.
There were 2 egregious... Well, there was more than 2, but there was 2 very, very egregious calls against the Dallas Cowboys, which, you know, we always talk about the refs and the Cowboys and how it's always in their favor. So I was like, well, where are those same people when it's the other way around? Because this is one of those situations. And the one situation in particular literally put Tampa Bay at 1st and goal, and then they end up scoring. And I was like, well, Jesus Christ. And now all of a sudden we got a ball game. This was, I think, in the second quarter is when this happened. What call was that? I'm trying to think. There was 2. I'm trying to think what that one was in particular.
Davis score?
Yeah, that was the one where he scored, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? That one was the hit on a quote-unquote defensive receiver. It was a shoulder-to-shoulder hit. There was no head involvement whatsoever. But in real time, it looked like they collided head-on. When they actually slowed it down, it was shoulder to shoulder. But because of the way that the receiver flew back,
reacted.
Yeah,
and flag.
I tweeted out. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" There was actually a reporter for Tampa Bay that tweeted out the actual rule, which basically says it doesn't have to be a helmet to helmet as long as it's basically an egregious hit. I proceeded to retweet it, and I was like, okay, well, I guess at this point we just have to make eye contact with the receiver, agree to end the play, and then, that's when it's going to stop. And he proceeded to tweet back at me, this Tampa Bay reporter tweeted back at me, and he was like, I'm just reporting the rule. And I was like, I didn't say it was you, I'm just saying I don't think this rule is cool, and I think it's bullshit. Yeah. Whatever, Tampa Bay reporter, whatever, all up in his feelings.
Have a good day.
Basically. So that was the one. That was the one where they scored, and there was another one where they called... I forget who exactly, but it was a Cowboys defensive lineman. He was down, and he raised his hand at one point trying to make a signal or some shit, and they called him for offsides. Defensive offsides.
Did he move?
No. He raised his hand doing whatever he was doing, and he called defensive offsides, even though on the offensive side, it was actually offsides on offense.
Oh, they moved.
Yeah. But they called it on defense.
Because he went like this, they felt like they baited him.
Basically.
Oh.
And everybody and their mother, even the ref that they pulled in from whatever city that he was watching was like, this is ridiculous. Yeah. So, okay. So those were 2 egregious calls against the Cowboys that basically almost gave the damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers a W. It was the 7 points, and then almost gave them another, so that would have been 14. That score was not the tell-all. The tell-all was that the Cowboys dominated the Buccaneers. That final score did not tell you the whole story.
I will say the refs have been miserable.
Egregious as fuck.
In the Eagles game, there was 2 missed calls too. One of them was on a two-point conversion where Nick Foles had his face mask really torn bad.
There was another one of that with us as well.
And the ref
would be at least the third one that I can think of against Dallas that didn't get called.
And the sideline reporter of the Philadelphia Eagles was standing and could hear, because Doug Peterson's, halfway on the field screaming at the ref, and the ref ran over, and he actually said that they missed the call. He admitted to Doug that they missed the call. And the sideline reporter heard it and reported it. The Eagles sideline reported it. And I was like, wait, what? The ref apologized? No, this is ridiculous.
I think that actually happened twice in Cowboys game. I know it happened to us. I think it also happened to Tampa. I think.
And that's what. So I said this because people were talking about it, and the Eagles still won, but people were talking about it the next day about how the refs were just so bad and how they've really been bad all year. And I said
they've been horrible.
I said it out loud. It's not just against the Eagles. It's for the Eagles. It seems like less than more, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
It's not on purpose. It's the refs just suck.
Yeah.
There is no way around it. If your team gets screwed more than...
I'm glad you realize this, because everybody seems to say, well, it's in Dallas' favor. But then when I just explained those 2 egregious... three egregious situations, then it's like, what it wasn't. It's just these refs have been terrible.
I can't explain what happened on the fumble, okay, where they said they couldn't get a clear recovery with the Eagles.
That's just stupid. It has nothing to do with the Cowboys.
Right. And we've talked about that before. We don't need to go over it. But I'm saying, outside of that one call, the rest of them have been on the field and just dumb. Missed or dumb called penalties.
Right.
And it's just I feel like they should be trained too well. They should be doing this for too long. They should be at the professional level. They need to be quick enough if the game is this quick. And I understand we can't make every human this quick, but
come on, man.
There has to
well,
be
literally,
that
was the thing with the offsides against the defense in the Cowboys game. They literally, and Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, they literally were on top of it. They were like, you literally, I don't remember who brought it up, but one of them was like, that whoever was supposed to be, whoever watches the line, that is literally your job.
Your job, yeah, just to watch it. That's it.
And you called that
wrong.
completely wrong. When immediately they were both like, yeah, that's offsides on offense, offsides on offense. All of a sudden it was a defense, and everybody was like, excuse me?
We're not doing your job right.
Because he... come on, man. Come on, man. But anyway.
Got the dub.
Cowboys look like good Cowboys. It's not, instead of bad Cowboys.
I did see the dude eating the W to Jameis. Did you see that?
No, but that's absolutely hilarious. Who did that?
I think it was DeMarcus Lawrence. It was one of the defensive linemen. Jameis.
I like it.
Jameis got stopped on like a 2nd and 1 or a 3rd and 1 trying to get to the first down.
How did I miss that?
And I'll find it for you and tweet it at you.
Jameis
stands up and looks at him, and he just starts eating the W. Like he literally just starts right in front, and he starts jumping up and down like this too, eating the W.
That's over a year old. Oh, that's so petty, but I like it.
So funny though.
That's so petty.
I think you know me. I'm not gonna ever sit here and support a Dallas Cowboys player, but I chuckled.
Does Jameis still do that?
He hasn't been on the field enough to do it.
Right, I know he did it one time.
I chuckled so hard though when my man ate the W in front of Jameis when Jameis was walking away because the game was out of hand. Jameis wasn't coming back, so the guy just wanted to let Jameis know that we're eating the W tonight.
Which, by the way, Jameis looked so bad in that game.
Yeah, Jameis has looked.
Jameis, he had 2 bad.
I saw the stat line.
2 bad turnovers.
So Jameis has been 50-50. He's been dicey this year, which he has been a lot of his career, but the turnovers are his biggest thing, and that's why he got sat earlier this year.
And then he got unset, then he got reset, then he got unset. Come on, Tampa, get it together. But yeah, he looked
average at best.
He won't be a Buccaneer next year.
New England beat Buffalo. That's it.
Textbook.
All right, so Dwight, and I don't want to. I mean, we might spend more time on this than we need to, but Dwight, I can't continue to let you get away with discrediting Cleveland.
I'm glad. I mean, you know what? I guess we're going to get into this more than we're going to need to get into.
7 wins.
Okay.
I'm not saying they get 8.
Okay.
I don't like...
Ooh, they're 500. Okay, I got it.
I'm not excited about the 500.
Baker Mayfield, though.
I like what he has done. I don't like how he handled the Hugh Jackson situation. But again, what did I tell you out the gate? And I will always remind everybody, this is only his rookie year, so I'm not going to toot my horn too big. But I did say he was the best quarterback coming out of the draft, and then he went from being a 2nd-round pick to all of a sudden being the 1st overall pick. Okay? And I did say right away that I like Baker. I thought he was the best quarterback coming out of the draft, but I did... You're gonna get the good with the bad. So you're gonna dislike things like how he handles the Hugh Jackson situation. Like I don't like how I don't like how he's handling the Hugh Jackson situation. But that's Baker, and I knew coming out of college that if you're gonna support this guy, you're just gonna laugh and shake your head like, dude, what are you doing? So he's a chucklehead.
At first, I was about it and thought it was funny, but
it's over the top
this
now.
This past week, I was literally you know what my reaction was? I was like, that's like okay, we get it. You don't like him, that's cool. And I as I said here, I'm cool. If he doesn't fuck with Hugh Jackson, that doesn't bother me. I'm cool with that. I'd rather him be real about it.
I don't like how it goes, but whatever.
My bigger thing has nothing to do with him. I was like, if this was anybody else, if this was a brother quarterback, we would be losing our mind.
I'm glad you said that.
Because I'm looking at him, I was like, if this was
my favorite
else was doing this.
Oh man, I'm horrible, and we need to start doing this, and I need to start doing this. Not we. I need to start doing this because I do this all the time. I wish I could credit my source on this. It was a guy on Twitter. It was an NBA or an NFL writer. I mean, on Twitter.
I was gonna say, is it even worth crediting? But fair
yes, his exact words. Could you imagine this was Cam Newton? It wouldn't be.
I could have said that myself.
No, hold on. He said it wouldn't be because they all said that he posed towards Hugh Jackson. They said it wouldn't be posed. It would be he threatened Hugh Jackson if it was Cam Newton. And I laughed so hard because I was like, that is the truest statement that anybody could write.
He was on my level, man.
I mean, come.
Literally, when I saw this, I was like, I get it. But then when I saw him, like...
Yes, I absolutely... And again...
And I was like, if that was anybody else, if that was a...
Back to the Twitter rabbit hole. I find myself in a lot of Twitter rabbit holes where I'm finding articles and stuff like that. But I read those. Dude.
Come on. So I'm like, okay, we can't have it both ways. Either we're cool with them both doing it, or we're not cool with them both doing it. So
I'm just not cool with him doing it like that. I don't care if
to me, To me, that was a little
he was just
excessive.
over the top.
And
Chill.
to me,
who cares?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just.
I don't know what was said
excessive.
behind closed doors. I guess, and maybe if there's something I'm missing, that's cool, and maybe it'll come out eventually. Maybe it won't. Maybe we'll all just think
Maybe
it's
he just
dumb.
doesn't fuck with him.
Whatever,
Cool.
but just the way he handles it publicly, not the greatest. But I will
I'm
say,
not even mad at that. Like I said, my bigger thing is, we all know, like you just said, if it was anybody else, especially a black quarterback, we would not, as a society, be reacting the same way. That's the fucking truth.
I agree.
That's the truth. If it was anybody else.
Now, but let's back into the entire Browns. Let's go back into the whole of the Browns. Okay, they are 7-1.
And that's the other hypocrisy of this whole
I'm not
Baker
saying
Mayfield thing.
It's the greatest thing ever.
This is another reason why the Baker Mayfield thing
It's a 7-win improvement from last year, though, with a rookie quarterback.
Okay. So, back to my point with this Baker Mayfield thing. That's the bigger hypocrisy, is because, he's so edgy, and this is what the Browns needs, because they've never had this, and they've never had something that's positive, and now all of a sudden, people are like, yeah, too sweet, NWO, it's so good, yeah, we need this in our life, we need this. Because it's the Cleveland Browns and it's Baker Mayfield or white quarterback. I'm just saying, this is why it's been acceptable.
Well, yeah.
But if it's any other team, if it's any other quarterback, we're not saying this is cool.
I'm not saying the
Just start doing this, and I might actually accept them.
I'm not saying how he's acting is acceptable. I'm saying how the team has risen. The organization.
Right. My point. If it's not the Cleveland Browns, a team that has been absolutely nothing, who has had no positivity, no sort of edge, we would not be having this "it's such a good thing" conversation.
If it was Cam Newton doing it down there, I would still be giving him credit for winning 7.
But we wouldn't be saying, man, he's revitalizing a whole team.
I don't think he is. I think the organization was revitalized, and then they drafted Baker Mayfield. They went out and added some defensive players. They went out
that's excessive.
and drafted some running backs. They went out and drafted a really good cornerback and a running back and a quarterback, all in the first and second round, all who are making crazy impacts on their team. But outside of that, they brought in Jarvis Landry, who is their best wide receiver. They brought him in the offseason. They brought in 2 offensive linemen, one to replace Joe Thomas. Not that you're ever going to replace a Hall of Famer, but you know what I mean. So, they did stuff around a rookie quarterback to help him win the 7 games. I'll admit that.
So where was this all-Madden team when they were losing with Hugh Jackson?
That I don't know, but maybe, on the flip side of this, sometimes it takes a couple games for teams to get their feet under them. I mean, look at the Steelers. The Steelers are 1-5 in their last 5 games. So, I can't explain why teams go on cold streaks that are better than their cold streaks. I don't even think that they are better than 7 wins. I think that 7 wins way exceeds expectations, way exceeds my personal expectations, I guess I should say, for them. But we were laughing at the idea of them being 8-8 this year.
I'm still laughing because
they're going to be.
It's still hilarious.
But 7 wins is close enough in my book. You hit closer to the bullseye than I absolutely thought your drunk ass could. Cleveland, congratulations!
I'll see you next year.
Okay, and I'm not against that theory either. That's completely fine. But I don't want to just write it off. You just wite it off. 7 wins, a 7-win improvement. And I think 5.
It happens every now and then. A team turns it around like that for a year. Quote unquote. Let me finger quote that. Turn it around. Okay, Cleveland.
Look, they still have Baltimore and Pittsburgh to deal with in the division. I'm not saying they go out and win their division next year. And Cincinnati, not saying that Cincinnati Marvin Lewis with Andy Dalton for the, 20th year in the row now?
47th.
Yeah, something like that. Bill Belichick thinks that they've been around too long. He just keeps playing them. And he's like, why is this guy why is he still here? We beat them every time. On to Cincinnati.
That's how everybody feels. That's how Cincinnati feels.
Well, the AFC, though, because they play way more than we do. We see them once every 3 years, and we're like, hey, yeah, he's still there.
Right, yeah, that's a W.
Chad Johnson? No? Okay. Yeah, all right.
Husha Mendoza?
Who's your mama? Bro, they got the red rifle.
Who?
Andy Dalton.
I get it.
At a TCU.
Where?
He revived that program. Texas Christian University. They're actually good now in football.
Who revived the organization more? Him in that college or Baker Mayfield in Cleveland? Baker Mayfield in Cleveland.
No. You know what? No, I'll go Andy Dalton with TCU. Andy Dalton got TCU to a BCS bowl game.
That wasn't a real question. Jesus Christ.
They're about... I think they are one step away from a playoff, like being in the playoffs, 2 steps away. They're not as good as they should be. They were good for a while.
That wasn't a real question.
Couple Heisman candidates. Landanian Thomaston went there. That's a long time ago, obviously.
That joke backfired. Fuck the Browns.
Do you like any more? Okay, well, Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback since Bernie Kosar, if you want to go history. Like, for them. That's incredible.
For 5 weeks. Like, okay.
They're 5-2 over the last 7 weeks.
What have you done for me next year?
Does that coach...
We'll see.
Okay, being 5-2, and I'm not saying they beat Baltimore, so let's say they go 5-3 over the last 8 weeks, okay? Mm-hmm. Does that coach get a chance next year to be the head coach?
He should be. He's the next Chip Kelly. The next greatest thing since Bill Belichick.
I wouldn't get that far.
He's the next great white messiah coach. Got to clarify because, Nick Foles is the original white messiah. But, yeah, he's the next great white messiah head coach.
Good segue. Speaking of
Chip Kelly.
Big Stick Nick.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles defense attempted to lose the football game. But Nick Foles says, I got this. Leads the Eagles down the field, they kick a field goal, they win the football game.
Somehow beat the Houston Texans.
Beat the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson, and I didn't know this until today, the day of this recording. Deshaun Watson, this is on, I'll credit Bleacher Report. It's the site I saw it on today.
Mm-hmm.
In college and pros, every game he has started, his team has never lost by more than 1 score.
Man, that's such a good thing to know.
That's a crazy stat. Keeps his teams in it. We're jinxing them, though. That means they're going to lose by 2 touchdowns this week, Houston. I apologize. Nick Foles set a franchise record in passing yards against a miserable Houston secondary. Good defensive line, but the Eagles' offensive line... and credit to Nick Foles, I think the difference between Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, Carson runs around the pocket a little bit. The offensive line, it's harder to keep guys from getting you when you're running around like that, Where the offensive line, I feel is a little more comfortable when Nick's back there because they know he's not going to move too much. He's just going to step up and down in the pocket. He's not going left or right. Set it off franchise record passing yards.
Golf clap. That's what's up.
I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
Not when you consider they ain't never had a quarterback.
So I always say.
Not named Randall.
And we can add, yeah, okay. I mean, I like Ron Jaworski, and I like Donovan.
Knock it off. Don't ever put them in the same conversation as Randall Cunningham.
I mean, look, Randall's my favorite football player of all time.
Okay, so well then you know better. So keep it pushing.
Carson, maybe, eventually.
How'd you fix his back first?
Yeah, I hear you. Eventually, I said. We'll see.
Wait. Eventually, I said, but we'll see. You can't say that the same...
I think that he can be, yes. So.
Not if he can't move.
Back to Nick Foles. Okay, I agree. Back to Nick Foles.
Fuck Nick Foles. What do we got to say about Nick Foles?
Dwight, I've been thinking...
His sob story about how, I want to leave Philadelphia. What are we talking about?
No, I've been thinking lately.
You should have traded him when you had a chance.
I've been thinking lately. Especially since he just did this. No matter what, because he's going to leave, and that's cool. He should. He should go get your money.
He's about to turn into such a Philly sob story.
He's the only quarterback. He has the most touchdowns in a game, with 7. He has the best touchdown-to-interception ratio ever for a season. He has the most passing yards in a game.
I swear to God.
It was in a must-win game.
About to say.
He was in a Super Bowl. won the Super Bowl for the
I
franchise.
will walk off and turn this whole show down.
I think that's going to have to be my next jersey.
Okay. That's fine. That's your prerogative. I could just clown you. I was waiting for you to say Hall of Fame. I was going to have to backhand you.
No.
That's the route I thought you were going. I mean, if you want to spend that...
I mean, sure, let's campaign for Nick Foles in the Hall of Fame if you want to do that, but I don't
want to spend $35 for a jersey. That's your
It's not
prerogative.
going to happen. But I want a Nick Foles jersey, honestly, because...
You can get one.
He deserves... Okay, but all the stuff I've ever said, I always talk about trading him, and I always joke about how I'm happy to be wrong. He's probably more of a starter in the NFL than I ever thought. I always said he's a career backup.
For who?
Got lucky. He's going to go start somewhere next year, Dwight.
No, he's not.
Tampa, Jacksonville,
He had his opportunity and he sucked.
He's going to go start somewhere next year.
He had his opportunity.
What are we betting? The beer and wings that I'm going to owe you after this season?
Yeah.
Okay. Off season, he's signing somewhere, and he will be the starting quarterback.
Okay. Doesn't mean he deserves it. Doesn't mean he's any good.
Well, are we still betting the beer and wings on that?
No, because that doesn't mean he's not going to be any... No, he's already started. He's not a starting quarterback. He is not. He's proven he's not.
I don't think he can do this for 16 games. I will
He's
agree.
proven he's not.
I will agree.
He's left.
I will agree.
He left that organization to go try and do that, and it did not work out too well.
Because he's, what, 30 or 31 years old?
And his bum ass came back to that city, and he just so happened to do what he did, and hey, nobody could take that away from him.
But he's done well the last 2 weeks, and he might have an opportunity to maybe do well this week. If they make the playoffs and he does well in the playoffs. So what do you do if Carson's healthy and you make the playoffs? Do you start Carson or do you keep Nick?
Man, Carson Wentz should not be playing.
I agree, but...
I don't know. That shouldn't nut-ass organization. What are they going to do? Start Carson and break his back? Go right ahead.
So...
You won't fuck around and paralyze this man. That's not a joke. They're not starting him.
We'll get into the scenarios of how the Eagles will make the playoffs after we do all this. The only thing I have to say about the Indianapolis and Giants game is the Giants were up 10 and they lost.
Yep.
Andrew Luck is on fire. Green Bay.
On fire. What the fuck? Based on what?
I think, what is it, 7 of his last 8 games?
What did he do last week against the Cowboys?
We're talking one game there. I don't know.
Well, you can't say he's on fire. In the middle of
You're
that, he was not doing
small
any...
sample size. I'm talking, let's
he
go
did
over the last
absolutely
8
nothing.
games. He has been just on a rip.
Okay, well, you can't say he's on fire if he just
His numbers
wasn't
are
on fire last
his
week.
numbers are top 5, top 10 quarterback caliber.
Have they won?
Yeah, most of them. Most of those games, yes. I think in their last 8 they've won 5.
He's so great.
He is.
He's not Nick Foles great.
Big Stick Nick. Speaking of Nick Foles great, Aaron Rodgers beat the Jets in overtime.
Congratulations, you did what you were supposed to do. Barely.
Whew, it got risky.
That terrible Packers team I was telling you about.
Bigger thing I want to talk about is the Packers interviewed Chuck Pagano, the old coach of the Colts. And who was it? Jim Caldwell of the Lions, I think, was the other guy that they interviewed so far. So they're only 2 in. I think they're going to interview a couple more guys.
I forgot the coach was the issue. My bad.
Do you think they keep Philman?
Who's filming?
The coach they have now?
No.
No, I don't either.
But, like I said, the issue's the head coach. Stupid.
Jacksonville beat Miami, took Miami out of the race. That's all we have to say about that. Good job, Miami. Congratulations to you guys. It's a super Miami move. Minnesota beat Detroit to keep themselves alive. We get into there next week. Carolina sacked Cam Newton like we talked about they should. They lost. Chicago beat San Francisco.
Terrible.
Rams destroyed the Cardinals. Oh, here's a good one to talk about. Pittsburgh, New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch that?
Mm-hmm.
Good game. Pittsburgh defense played better than... Look, all season they played well. We talked about it. I mean, they stepped up.
Mm.
But bad turnover by Juju. Super late.
And then he got clinically depressed. Did you see that?
I mean, I saw he was super sad.
He got clinically depressed.
Yeah?
I heard tweeting and shit.
I mean, I saw a tweet.
Excessive.
Never ever gonna let that happen again, Dwight.
Never ever. It's on me, guys. I'm sorry.
Pittsburgh, this one's for you.
God damn it. That's he all but said that. It's pathetic. Like, come on, bro. Keep pushing. You can own it without being ridiculously over the top.
New Orleans moved the ball a little more, got the points they needed, and won the game.
Yep.
1-5 in their last 6. 2 losses, 1 to Denver, 1 to Oakland, both on the road, but inexcusable.
Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh did this to themselves, man.
This week, they had the opportunity to win. So there's 3 of your 5 losses right there. So then you have 4. So then you go 4-2 in that stretch instead.
They did this to themselves, man.
It's not bad.
This is why they're not going...
4-2 is the difference. If Baltimore wins, yeah, they don't make the playoffs. If Baltimore wins, Pittsburgh does not make the playoffs.
That makes no sense.
They were 7-2.
That makes zero
They were
sense.
7-2-1 at one point this year to wait. 7-2-1.
That's all them.
And they
That's
will
on them.
not make the playoffs if another
That's
team
on
wins a
them.
football game.
That's on them.
Dwight,
That's on them.
okay, we talked about the Ravens. Are the Steelers a threat to you? They could beat anybody, but they can lose to anybody
Well,
too, right?
They're not even going to make the playoffs.
Well, but if they make the playoffs, let's say the Ravens stumble to the Cleveland Browns. Say your boy Baker and beats the Ravens.
Mm.
Are the Steelers a threat in the playoffs to beat Kansas City, New England, Tennessee, or Indianapolis?
I mean, Indianapolis, sure, but other than that, I can't say it with a straight face.
Can they? So they can't beat the Chargers, and they can't beat Kansas City, and they can't beat New England.
I mean, Kansas City's so redundant at this point. I'm so done even throwing them in the conversation of that.
So now you just have New England and Chargers? It was Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's out.
They could fuck around in...
Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Right, because they can beat anybody. But they can also lose to anybody. Yeah. They could lose this week to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Would you be shocked?
The AFC's so broken right now.
Everybody's broken. The NFC's broken.
Yeah. No, not so much.
Who's going to the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Saints, Rams. Could they be beaten though?
I'm still sticking with the Rams.
Could the Bears beat anybody?
No.
No. So it's going to be the Saints or the Rams still?
It's going to be the Rams. But yeah, maybe the Saints.
Okay.
But that's the NFC. What about the AFC? I think the AFC's far more broken than the NFC.
Super wide open. I agree.
The AFC's so wide open.
The Colts, if they sneak in, could be the team.
Knock it off. You're such an Andrew Luck apologist. Yeah. That makes me sick. Knock it off. No, the AFC's wide open. Since the cream up thing in Kansas City, it's wide open. But if the Steelers sneak in, they can get... God, yeah, I think they could beat Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh could beat Chargers.
Oh, they could beat Pittsburgh. Jesus, they could beat New England. Is what I was trying to say.
They could beat Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
They could beat Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And they could beat New England.
Yeah.
All right. They could lose to any of them though pretty easily, right?
Very easily.
Okay. It's just as good as it is fragile. So I'm with you. I am absolutely 110% with you. It's the most inconsistent. And
That's
again,
that Jared Hood parody in the NFL, right?
Yeah, and I love it. And 1-6 in their last, or 1-5 in their last 6 games, put them in this weird position. They were 7-2-1, Dwight. I mean, that is unprecedented. I'm not saying they need to reevaluate and maybe fire Tomlin, but Tomlin's going to get looked at least. Yeah, and I'm not saying he gets fired. I don't think he's in the water. But he's putting himself in the waters.
It's about that time. It's about the time to at least give him a look.
He's going
to get the side eye.
They were 7-2-1.
Yeah.
Next year's a big year for them if they don't make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I think even if they do, this isn't going to be forgotten by management. I mean, this is a very horrible way. And again, Juju is...
Especially if you don't make it.
Look, you're supposed to beat Denver, and they lost really bad, but it was close. You're supposed to beat Oakland. You lost close, but you had the lead when your starting quarterback. Your starting quarterback came out, and for some reason you never put him back in, even when he was healthy. That's on you, the coach, or I don't know who it's on. But either way, you should. Those are 2 games you should have won. And then again, unprecedented, and you don't see Juju usually fumble in those kind of situations. But there you go, Juju fumbles. So those are 3 games right there that the entire season is so different, and we're not even talking about this. They're clearly in the playoffs. They might even have a bye if they win those 3 games, but they didn't. They didn't. At the end of the day, they didn't. And they were 7-2-1, and now they are facing a shot at somebody else winning a football game and not them having to be the team to make them not win that football game and them not make the playoffs because of it. It's a hard spot to be in.
I see that parody NFL, as Jared Hood says, or that mediocrity in the NFL, as Dwight likes to say. Whichever you want to go with.
Right now, it could be a little bit of both.
Right now, there's parity and NFC, I guess. But
nobody's great.
There's mediocrity in the AFC.
Like, you got 2 good teams, like really, really good teams that, might be great in the NFC when we're talking about New Orleans and LA. But in the AFC, nobody's great.
No, it's open field out there. It's gonna be New England.
Kansas City and Seattle. Seattle put up a late score, won the football game. I didn't stay up for it, so it's gonna be hard for either of us to analyze it. All right, Christmas Eve. Oakland beat Denver. I didn't watch any of it, but Oakland, a couple wins in a row.
I picked Oakland for LOLs. And
I went 11-5. I did not. I went 11-5. What'd you go?
12-4.
Oh, you killed me. You beat me this year, Dwight.
One of these days you're gonna fucking calculate this shit, Jared Hood.
So we broke down the playoffs in the NFL.
For like 6 weeks he's gonna count and he hasn't done it.
We're gonna do our picks here in a second, but shout out and go Irish this weekend. Notre Dame plays Saturday. Alabama and I don't know why I'm staring at them right now. Oklahoma plays Saturday night. Notre Dame plays Clemson at 4 o'clock on Saturday. I'm very excited. This is going to be. I'm nervous, Dwight. 4 o'clock Saturday, I have an actual playoff game of Notre Dame, which it's one of the biggest games of my life ever for Notre Dame. And you know me, Notre Dame is my baby. And the Eagles then basically play in a play-in game at 4 o'clock 24 hours later. My heart cannot handle this.
Yeah, why the fuck are the Eagles playing 4 o'clock Sunday?
Because everybody who has an opportunity to maybe wrestle around with the playoff solutions plays at that time, so nobody sees and nobody knows and nobody sits anybody, because the NFL wants the fan experience in the stadium to be as good as it gets.
I get it, but it's whack to me. Cowboys should be 4 o'clock game.
But the Cowboys have no implications. The Cowboys already said they're probably sending their starters.
I get it, but
they're playing their starters for like 2 series, I think.
I get it, but come on, man.
If that.
Come on, man. Cowboys are not a 1 o'clock team.
They can't get better than the 4 seed.
I can hear you a million different ways in a million different times.
And they can't get worse.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I just how the cookie crumbled.
I don't get it. That's cool. I'll watch the Cowboys game 1 o'clock and then turn off the. I won't turn it off the rest of the day, but.
The 4 o'clock red zone is going to be fun.
Hey, maybe we'll get the Cowboys on an actual channel over here.
The 4 o'clock red zone is actually going to be really fun this week, even though we're going to watch more of the Eagles game. But the 4 o'clock red zone is going to be fun.
Actually, now that I said that, well, it will be, but now that I actually think about it, this year I feel like there was only, I could be mistaken, I feel like there was only 1 game.
You had a home game at 1 o'clock, I remember. I forget against who. Jacksonville was a 1 o'clock home game.
So maybe 2 games that I was saying there was like 1 game, but okay, maybe that was the second one that wasn't televised over here.
Yeah, we've had most of them televised here.
Yeah, I mean, most of it's, prime time.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we didn't have it, but...
Yeah, we had 3. This will be our 3rd straight 1 o'clock, which is weird.
But 2 or 3 weeks ago, we didn't have it, but most of it was played
and even the 1 o'clock one last week, we had it.
Yeah, because the Eagles played a little late.
So...
Or no, Eagles played on CBS at 1.
Right, that's right.
They had an AFC game.
Yeah.
So what happens is...
Okay,
so you know how that works.
I get it, but I was just like, it's
Some people don't.
Weird. I get it, but it's so weird.
I mean, it happens about twice a year for the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles have to do that twice a year. I don't really like it. It's never fun.
I'm cool with it.
I don't like their broadcast. I like the NFL, and the Fox one is clearer.
Does anybody like the CBS broadcast?
No, the Fox one's clearer on the TVs.
I don't disagree. I think we did have a CBS one this year.
You had to. Everybody did.
Yeah, we did.
You have
It
to.
irritated me.
You host two of them.
It irritated me.
You host two AFC teams a year, so you have to have one. You have to have them both.
I hate the CBS broadcast.
So do I. It's annoying.
It's garbage.
Anyways, back to the narrative. Go Irish. Go Irish.
Who are they playing again?
Clemson. 3 players from Clemson got suspended for PEDs. Defensive tackle, a
Got
tight
that John
end.
Jones, huh?
And I want to say it was a secondary player, but I could be wrong on that. But I know it was a defensive tackle and tight end, both starting. So, a little help. But again, Notre Dame is playing in Jerry World, not the best omen for people like me. But,
You ain't wrong.
shout out to my uncle who is no longer with us, and my cousin who is with us. Huge Notre Dame fans, big Cowboys fans as well. So they are excited.
Should be. You know, speaking of for half a second, because I said John Jones. Did you see the John Jones?
Yeah, they
story?
moved it from Nevada
Because
to...
Nevada said, you can't be here, bro.
Because he failed the A sample.
So then the UFC said, well, we got John Jones as our main event. We need to move the main event now from Nevada to L.A.
So they're fighting one match in LA, right? The rest of it's still in Nevada. Like the pre-show is still in Nevada, if I'm not mistaken. So the people who still bought tickets can still go to the pre-show, first fights. And I'm pretty sure the John Jones fight is the only thing happening in LA. That could be wrong, but that was the original.
I hope that's wrong. I
That
didn't
was
hear
the
all that. I was just more so
That was
like,
the
they
original
really
thrown
just-
out summary. I don't know if that's true or not.
That can't be true.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what they ended up doing. That was the original proposed idea, I guess.
There's no way that's an idea. That's the thing. I
It's
mean,
dumb. I thought it was dumb when I heard it.
I was more so just like, really, Dana White, really UFC, that's what you're doing me for him, because
I don't get down with Dana White, so.
I don't either, because he's a fraud, he's a phony, but we've already talked about that many times. We don't need to do that right now. We got another 6 months out of the year because football's going to be over here soon, so I'll do that then.
Do some picks?
Yep.
You want to pick some college games?
Yep.
Who are you picking, Notre Dame or Clemson?
Clemson.
Alright, I'll go with the Irish.
I got to.
Alabama or Oklahoma?
He's really writing this shit down like I really have a horse in any of this race. I'll go for good old JR.
You're going with OU! What's the upset?
I'm just going with Jim Ross.
Hey! Crazier things have happened. I love college football for that.
I just want Jim Ross to get one.
OU has the best offense in the history of college football. Bad news for them is they have the worst defense in the 4 years that we've been doing the college playoffs. They have the worst defense entering it. So we will see.
Well, I hope you bring this up next week so I don't remember that I actually made these picks.
Oh, absolutely bring it up. I'm picking
I
Notre
know
Dame
you
and
would.
Bam
Just run
with
it
it. Go
back.
Irish. Hopefully the Irish win.
See, this motherfucker takes a chalk. That's what Jared Hood does. Dwight doesn't do that.
We'll pick some NFL games.
Are you going to go chalk or are you going to just, make some actual picks?
What, in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see.
He had to check because he was going to go
Carolina,
chalk.
New Orleans? Chalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. New Orleans.
Yeah.
If we both agree on it, it's
Yeah.
pretty hard. Alright.
Is Cam playing?
No.
Should he be?
No.
At this point, it doesn't matter. He might as well just play.
No, don't hurt it anymore. His shoulder's pretty banged up.
Carson played all year. Fuck.
Okay, and he should have told the doctors, but he didn't.
Well, he's going to heal up and he don't need surgery, so what's the difference?
That's good. Could have been really bad.
Cam's not going to be paralyzed for doing this, so.
Jets taking on New England and New England.
Yep.
New England needs it, so I'm taking New England. Chalk.
Yep. That's 2.
Jacksonville, Houston. Houston fighting for seeding.
So that's 3 chalk?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Miami, Buffalo. Here we go. In Buffalo. Are we taking the fakest 5, 6, or 7 win team of all time? I have no idea how many Buffalo has. Or are we taking one of the other fake 6 or 7 win teams of all time, Miami?
I took the other fakest team of all time, Miami, because fuck Buffalo.
Oh, I took Buffalo.
See, I did it just to be that guy because I've been saying fuck Buffalo.
There's
all
no
year.
chalk on this one. You could literally throw 10 coins in the air, right? And if they all landed one way, you would still probably could pick the other way
I
and
still
maybe
would
be
pick
right.
the other one just because I'm an ass.
You could be right.
Yeah.
Dallas taking on the Giants. Dallas probably not playing most of their starters.
See, I didn't know that extra detail, but I'm still going to the Cowboys.
I'm going with the Giants only because of that. And the Giants, for some reason, keep playing hard, even though it makes more sense for them to not play hard and get a better draft pick at this point. But hey, I get it. Throw Eli in there. There's always a potential chance to throw a bunch of interceptions and still lose the game.
See, I didn't realize we weren't going to play any of our starters like
You
that.
can't advance and you can't get any lower.
I get it. I just didn't realize that would be the obvious thing that they would do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty big line. So I'm pretty sure the Giants are favored by like 6 or 7.
It sucks. I really don't want to take any type of L to the Giants.
Regardless
of its position.
The Eagles did it last year to the Dallas at the end of the year.
I know, but I don't want to hear you. Well, it won't be you, but
Giants fans.
No, it will be you Eagles fans. But
not
name you. Giants. But it will be you Eagles fans. And you really lost to the Giants? Even though that little fine detail.
What, I don't care.
It's your nut-ass fan base.
I got you. Atlanta taking on Tampa Bay.
Jeez.
Right, this was hard.
Atlanta.
I took Tampa Bay.
That's horrible.
I took Tampa Bay only because I keep going against Atlanta and they keep winning. So good for you, Atlanta fans. Keep the streak alive.
You're a Jameis apologist, we know.
Detroit going to Green Bay. Fight Aaron Rodgers, fight.
Is he going to play?
Yeah, I think so.
He's going to. He has to play. He's not going to. He's not going.
He said he wants to.
He's not going out now. I got the Packers. He can't go out now.
He won in overtime against the Jets last week.
Well, I'm saying he's not going to go out.
Oh, he's going to play and win?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Green Bay as well, though.
Yeah.
Chargers taking on Denver.
That's 4 o'clock. God, I need the Chargers to get together.
Chargers need to win it. If Kansas City loses and the Chargers win, the Chargers have the number 1 seed.
Yeah, the Chargers need to get it together. I don't know what the hell's been going on, but
if they don't, I think they have like the number 5 seed.
That's a big difference.
And you go on the road to.
I mean, it's the AFC. It doesn't matter, but.
But they go on the road to who? So who's going to win the? Well, they either go on the road to Baltimore. They win the North.
They don't want to do that.
Or.
They don't want to go to Baltimore.
Oh, Houston.
They don't necessarily want to do that either.
And then the winner of Tennessee and Indianapolis, which we'll get into, goes to the other one.
Yeah, they definitely want to win this game.
Or New England, but that all goes in. Like New England could be one of the teams that you have to go play instead.
Mm-hmm.
And Baltimore gets a bye.
We'll get there. I got the Chargers.
Taking the Chargers as well. San Francisco taking on the Rams. The Rams are playing for also implications of the 2 seed. Maybe the 1 seed, but most likely the 2 seed. Who are you taking?
Chalk.
Taking the Rams as well in the L.A. Cleveland taking on Baltimore. Baltimore wins, they're in. Pittsburgh loses, Baltimore's in. Pittsburgh and Baltimore play at the same time. Baker Mayfield 5-2 in his last 7. Baltimore slipped up 2 of the last 5 games, but played so well last week on Saturday.
This is the most ridiculous circumstance you could ever imagine.
If Cleveland wins, Cleveland goes 8-7-1.
Nobody cares about that, bro. Keep it pushing. Anyway, if Cleveland wins,
they fall 1 game short of the playoffs. If they would have beat,
I don't care about that.
If they would have beat
I don't care about
Pittsburgh in game 1,
I don't care about
this
that.
game would be for the division, Dwight.
Stop caring about the Cleveland Browns. If the Browns win this, though, they will be helping the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Which is the bigger story, other than if the Browns would have done
this.
If the Browns
but the Browns hate the Ravens more than they hate the Steelers.
If the Browns would have done, well, I don't know about all that.
The Ravens took their team. Baltimore took their team.
Okay.
Browns fans hate the Ravens. I don't know about the organization.
The Steelers too.
Oh yeah, the Steelers are absolutely. It's just like the Giants and the Redskins for the Eagles, but the Eagles hate the Cowboys the most.
I think the Browns are petty enough to drop this. I got the Ravens.
I don't think anyone's losing on purpose on Sunday, but I got the Ravens to win as well.
But if Cleveland wins, they would be 7-8-1. Like, so?
8-7-1.
Damn. So?
It's impressive.
I need you to get off this ESPN hype train of the Cleveland Browns.
ESPN hype train.
You're on this hype train.
That's incredible. That's
just nothing. Wow.
7 wins.
Wow, that's incredible now.
7 wins.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes or no? 7-win improvement in the NFL. Incredible or not?
It's not.
It's incredible.
Did they make the playoffs? Are they relevant?
7-win improvement. Yeah, they're more relevant than they ever have been before. They won 1 game in the last 2 years. In the last 24 months leading into the season, they won 1 game.
And what had they been for 25 years? Nothing. And what are they still now? Still nothing.
So bad, but they're better than they have ever probably been.
Okay. So so they went from garbage to trash. Great.
You gotta start somewhere.
You're right. Guess they'll be in the recycle bin next year.
Speaking of recycle bins, Cincinnati taking on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh in a must-win, in a hope Cleveland win.
I got Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh too. I think they're going to dominate this one. Oakland taking on Kansas City.
Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. And if the Chiefs win, they get the 1 seed on a bye.
Yeah.
Philadelphia taking on Washington. Big Stick Nick.
Let's take a hell. I got Washington.
Really? If the Eagles win and Minnesota loses, the Eagles are in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think at least the Eagles win.
Well, I'm going the opposite route because I just have to take one or the other, so I took Washington.
Chicago or Minnesota?
Chicago.
I'm taking Chicago as well. Because I need it. Arizona taking on Seattle.
Seattle.
Seattle as well, and if Seattle wins,
I really don't want to face Seattle in the playoffs, but that's what's about to happen.
it dominates everything for Minnesota. Because if Seattle loses and Minnesota wins, Minnesota can actually move up and play Dallas instead. It's weird how it all works.
I guess I'd rather play Minnesota. Yeah.
You need Seattle to lose to Arizona and Minnesota to beat Chicago. The Sunday night game.
Yep.
Winner goes home. Winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home.
Yep.
Where's it at? Is it in it's in Tennessee. Who you got?
Not the Titans.
You're going with your boy Andrew Luck.
Only because I've been saying fuck the Titans.
You know how good he is and how good he's been playing lately, so I understand.
Yeah, that's exactly why. It's not at all because I said fuck the Titans. Like
they have some injuries. I think the game was going to be close, but I do have the Colts winning it.
In all honesty, they should win it.
Agreed.
It won't I don't think it should be a blowout, but they should squeeze
And then they
out.
either go to Baltimore or New England.
That's an L or an L. Either way, you're a loser. Either way, you could look at it one of two ways. Either you could just be a loser, or you could be a Cleveland Brown loser, which means like you still suck, but we still like applaud that you suck because you suck a little less than what you'd have in history. So I mean, whatever. You know, like it's like the Lakers. Like the Lakers have been trash for like 3 years or whatever. It's been 4 years. I don't even know. And now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I mean they don't suck. I mean they alright. Like they better because they got LeBron. They don't suck.
They could be a top 5 team in the West.
They still suck. They just don't suck. I get it. They still suck. Overall. I don't care if LeBron's there or not. Anyway.
Well, Dwight.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the football this weekend. Are you going to watch any of the college football on Saturday?
Fuck no.
It's going to be some good games. When you get home, it'll be the second half of the first one, Notre Dame.
I get home, the first thing I'm going to be thinking about is not college football.
Dwight.
Yep.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody out there. Thank you for watching. This is JD Sports.
Make that Jew money.